If you recall from our last meeting, you guys became the experts with the M&M graphing, so great job. And we were using that tool. Does anybody remember what that tool was called? Amin?
It's called CODAP.
It's called CODAP.
CODAP, the Common Online Data Analysis Platform, is a free educational tool that helps learners summarize, visualize, and interpret data. Learners develop their critical thinking skills and their technical expertise as they use CODAP. The Data to the Rescue storyline helps keep them engaged and exploring as they try to figure out what is happening to the penguins using real scientific data collected at Palmer Station, Antarctica.
Right over here on the screen, okay, we have the Two Penguins Guide to Graphing. So Miss Moreno, would you do Helen's speaking prompts? And Lucas, would you do Sean's?
Hi, I'm Helen, a graphing penguin.
And I'm Sean, another graphic penguin, but I'm a Gen 2.
On the left is a chart of data. It has 5 columns. The index is the number of data entries we won't use. That. Then there's the year the data was taken and the population in breeding pairs of each penguin species from that year.
Look on your screen, matches in your book, just what Bree said. You've got this index here. We're not going to use this particular, right? But we do have these other columns with the year, the breeding pairs, the Adelie pairs, the Gen 2, and the chin strap. You cool? This is where we're going to create our graph. Let's click on 1984. What'd you notice happened to the big screen of all the dots when you clicked on 1984?
One turned blue.
Do you think that that's the dot that matches this row of data? How so? If you hover over it?
Okay, it says year 1984.
Awesome. Click the word year, just like you said, okay, from the top of the chart, and drag it to the x-axis.
Now we need to add some penguins to our y-axis.
So let's click and drag Adelie pairs, and we're going to drag them to the y-axis. What's going on here? Like all of a sudden we put the Adelie pairs on the y-axis, and what did CODAP do for us automatically? Lucas?
It went from 1979 to 2020.
Okay. And then what's happening over here? Did it automatically give us this nice and neat interval of, going from just a little above the 13,697 pairs of penguins? It took us just a little above that. What might be happening to those pairs of Adelie penguins over time? Justin?
Over time, they started decreasing.
Anybody want to expand on that? Jaden?
I think the reason why the Adelie penguins are decreasing is because the Gen 2 penguins are increasing, meaning they might be invading the food that they need to survive.
CODAP enables learners to swiftly dive into data manipulation and analysis. Here they are exploring how the populations of 3 penguin species change over time. They can manipulate their data display by dragging variables to the x and y axes and using CODAP to explore similarities and differences in population changes.
Let's look at 2003. We've got these chin straps, 290 pairs, and then, whoa, 2004? Would you say that that is a steep, sharp decline?
That it was like a drastic change in numbers.
Ooh. And then if you start to connect that with some of the other things that you were noticing and wondering, right? What might you say? Could you make could you just talk about the story? Like, would this need its own chapter in a book?
Probably because there has to be a reason why it decreased so dramatically over just a span of 1 year.
Just the span of 1 year.
In 2003, both pairs have the same spike, so it might be due to a food source, because it has similar spikes right here and another here.
Could we add the other breeding pair?
See, and they don't have similar spikes.
What do you mean they? What's your?
They have a little bit of a spike, but not as big as these two.
Even when CODAP is new to them, learners quickly begin to experiment and look for patterns. The facilitator encourages curiosity, and asks what they are noticing in the data. CodeUp encourages exploration rather than seeking a single right answer, and learners benefit from time to ask questions, explore, discuss, and grapple with the data.